Nu skal vi lege med kampvogne. Jeg står nede i Polen ved Wargamings Grand Finals i World of Tanks, og vi har fået en lille snak med nogle af medarbejderne fra Wargaming. Vi var meget interesserede i at vide, hvorfor det var, at World of Tanks havde valgt den her freemium-model. Så det spurgte vi alle King om. Du kan høre en svar lige her.
It's a good question, and it depends who you ask, and it depends what mood they're in. But basically, two things were happening. One, Victor and the guys were saying, they were going around to all the traditional publishers, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, etc., saying, we've got this tank MMO, which we think is going to be really good. And they were going, tank MMO, you're stupid. No way. So some people say it was an act of desperation that we had to go free to play because we couldn't get a traditional publishing deal. Partially true, but at the same time, in Asia, on mobile, there was this new model emerging which was free to play. And they were going, well, could we do free to play with a AAA sort of MMO? Wow, would that work? And they thought about it a lot and, started to experiment with different variations. And then eventually they said, yeah, we think we can do this. And so they kind of bet the farm on the free-to-play model, thinking, A, we've got a good game, and B, we're confident that people will stick with us enough, for them to start spending money on the add-ons. So it was a very, very bold strategic decision, and it's paid off fantastically. So well done, the team.
Ja, det var så det, han havde at sige om baggrunden for freemium-modellen. Men vi kunne godt tænke os at vide, om det er det, de har tænkt sig at bruge i fremtiden for der kommende projekter. Så det spurgte vi ham også om.
It's a great question. We kind of ask ourselves that all the time. We are profoundly aware that, most business models, have like a life cycle that comes in waves. Obviously, there was subscription, the sort of $9.99 Blizzard model, which, seemed to be, the way it was. But then free-to-play came along and showed that there's a different way. It is hard to think that there's going to be anything past free-to-play. So, we're committed to the free-to-play model, certainly with, tanks, planes and ships. But yeah, certainly the new projects which we are working on and, haven't announced yet, they are all using the free-to-play business model. We understand it. We don't own the free-to-play business model because everyone's doing it now, but we were one of the first to do it. And because we were very fair and balanced with our sort of paywall and pitched it exactly right and are constantly fine-tuning it based on, data and consumer feedback, we think we've mastered it and we understand it. So as far as we're concerned, we're committed to that for the foreseeable future.
Ja, nu har jeg så hørt lidt om den fremadrettede strategi for Wargaming. Men vi fik også en lille snak med Markus Schill om, hvor han tror World of Tanks er at finde om 5 år.
Oh, the 5-year question. So I don't know where we will be in 5 years. What is key to me is that in 5 years we will still be producing games for our audience. We will still be producing World of Tanks for our audience. We're making sure that we listen to our players, making sure that our players are happy with the game that they are having, and maybe convincing some of the players in the Nordic countries that there has been a gravitational shift from the time 9 years ago when free-to-play was really just an excuse to do a very cheap game, put it on the market, monetize it quickly, move to the next game, to what we are seeing now in this space. Now we have games that are AAA quality, that have a huge amount of content, engagement that is on a level that is comparable to any title that you can buy as a box product. Because whereas the box title needs to come out after 2 years and it's done, because otherwise you can just not afford the amount of investment that you have to do into the development of the game. We have invested 3 or 4 years to bring it to market, but then since then we have invested 5 years of improvements to the game. So the game that you are installing now is a game that is not just AAA, but it's a AAA title that has been made better over a period, or it has been developed over a period of 8 years. And that's the amount of quality that you're getting when you're installing World of Tanks today. And that's something that doesn't compare to a game that is done in 2 years quickly.
Det var så, hvad han havde at sige om fremtiden for World of Tanks. Men hvad med e-sportsiden af spillet? Det fik vi en lille snak med Nicolas Passemat om, og hans svar kan du høre lige her.
You have to look at where we come from first, to look at the future. How we evolved. We started with 7 versus 7. It was boring because it was a campfest. Tanks were not moving, waiting for the other team to attack first, and the games were always like draws, etc. So we implemented the attack-defense mode. I don't know if you remember, it was 1 year and a half ago, and it was a success. Players really really loved it. And just last season, we said, okay, let's try to have tier 10s in the game because it gets us closer to the main 15 versus 15 random battles in World of Tanks. Okay, we did that. We were a bit scared because it's always a change, it's always scary. And in fact, we got a 50% increase in our audience. So we said, wow, maybe that's the right direction. Maybe we should, explore a little bit more this idea and maybe even go deeper. And that's where the future comes in, because right now we are evaluating the possibility to create something really big, something really unique, something that you haven't seen on another esports game, which is 15 versus 15. So, okay, I know it comes with a lot of challenges in terms of logistics, etc. But it's as well something really exciting as a challenge. And I believe that it can be a true war game.
Det var så, hvad de havde at sige om fremtiden for World of Tanks. Hvad du selv har spillet? Giv os din mening i kommentarfeltet. Og hvis du kunne lide, hvad du så giv os ind dit like og del video med dine venner. Så ses vi næste gang.